today I'm going to show you some core movements that I think everybody should be doing. These movements are pretty basic and simple, but I'll also show you some more advanced ways to do them. If you have any kind of back issues, just be careful how you attack any kind of core movement. You won't see any crunches in this video because I'm not a big believer in them, and I really don't think that they make your core strong. And in fact, they can actually be a little more detrimental to your body. So the ones that I'm going to show you, I think, are really good for your core, and they should not hurt your back. But if they do, make sure you modify it or stop it completely. The first is going to be what I call a heel tap. You're going to draw that stomach in nice and tight. What I mean by that is you're sucking that stomach in. Think of bringing that navel to the spine. So you lay down, draw that stomach in, and you're going to bring those legs up in a tabletop position. And all you're going to do is your hands are down at your side, and you're going to drop one heel down to the ground and then the other. This is a pretty basic move, but again, if you have any kind of low back problems and the L4 or L5 and this hurts, then don't do it. I would aim for 10 to 15 repetitions each side. More advanced, if that's too easy, would be to extend that leg a little straighter instead of the bent knee. And more advanced still would be to drop both knees together at the same time. You really want to make sure that core's drawn in though, and that your back doesn't overarch. And if you can try this, you'll see that it is definitely a more advanced move. So anytime after you do these, I always hug my knees into my chest just to stretch out that low back a little bit. The next that I'm going to show you is called a modified bicycle. So you're going to take your hands underneath your low back for support. Bring those legs in a tabletop position, and this is more of an isometric hold. So I'm going to extend the left leg. My right leg is just up, and you're holding it maybe 2-3 seconds. Bring that up, and then hold. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. And as you become stronger, you can hold it a little bit longer, maybe go for 5 seconds. It's really up to you. The main thing to remember is that your back isn't arching, that stomach is in control. So that's the modified bicycle. The next I'm going to show you is called the dead bug. It's one of my favorites. Again, you begin in that tabletop position, draw that stomach in, bring the legs up like this. Bring your arms up like this, extend the leg and then the arm. Left leg, right arm, together. Keeping that stomach drawn in. (10 to 15 reps. Now, a way to make that harder is to add the stability ball to it. So if you don't have a stability ball, that's okay. You just do the version that I just showed you. Otherwise, this is a great way to make it just a little bit more challenging. And I feel like everybody that I've had do this way says they feel a little bit more in their core, and I know I do. So you're going to bring the legs up. You're going to balance that ball on your knees. Arms are straight. Draw that stomach in, and opposite arm and leg. And you'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm balancing that ball on the knee. So now we're stabilizing along with working that core. So you're engaging more muscles, which is what we're all after. 10 to 15 repetitions each side. Very good. We'll put that down. Next, we're going to come over into the prone position. I'm going to show you how to do the bird dog. I know all these have weird names, but this is how we remember them. So I'm going to show you the basic bird dog. You're on your hands and knees. Draw that stomach in always. Extend one leg and opposite arm. And I'm going to hold this isometric hold for maybe 5 seconds. Bring it down and then switch. So that's the isometric hold position. Keep that head down. You don't want to go like this because then you're aggravating your neck. So keep that head in a nice downward position. Now single version would be to go like this, bring it back down, and then extend the other side. Right arm, left leg. So it's a little more quicker, but it's also slow and controlled. It's not too quick. I'm going to show you from the front so that you can see from this view that I'm not going to be rotating my hips. So my head is down. And you don't see any kind of rotation. The hip bones should be square to the floor, and not rotating out like that. Another version to this, which is definitely a more advanced version, is on the stability ball. So I'm going to lay on the ball. My stability ball needs some air, so you'll see that it's a little squishy. But the arms are straight, extend, and see how I'm a little more wobbly? So once again, when you add that ball in there, you're using more stabilizer muscles. If you don't have a stability ball, it's a great tool for making any kind of your core work a little bit harder. The most advanced version to the bird dog is just straight leg and straight arm. It's definitely the hardest of the bunch, so don't try it unless you feel like you're really ready for it. I'm going to show you from the side. Straight legs, abs are in tight. Extend the leg first, and then the arm. Bring that down, and then the other side. And I'm going to show you from the front. Same thing. Legs are a little wide. A wider base is going to help you. If you keep that base narrow, it's going to be harder, so a little wider. Keep that butt down. Don't hike it up. Extend the leg first, and hold. I love that version, but it's definitely harder. Next, we're going to go on to the plank, which is my favorite, besides the dead bug. So I'm going to show you the regular plank that most of us know, the proper way to do it, and then go to the more advanced versions. The proper way to do it, if you're a beginner, is on your knees, coming down on your forearms, and just holding it. And for a plank, 30 seconds to a minute is a great time. More advanced, straight leg. Improper, butt up, or dropping it all the way down to where your back is arching. Those are improper movements. I also see a lot of people when they're doing a plank where their body is turned. And you don't want to do that either. So you don't want to be like this. I don't know if you can see my hips kind of turning, unless you're actively trying to do a harder version. But I've seen a lot of people, because maybe they have some kind of imbalance in their hips to where one hip is hiked up a little higher than the other, and not because they're trying to, but because there's an imbalance in their body. So always make sure when you're in that prone position and doing any kind of plank that your hips are facing the floor, nice and square, the butt's not up, and the back isn't dropping. Don't get concerned with the time, you just want to do it the proper way. Start with 10 seconds if it's really hard for you. There's really no need to go more than 2 minutes in a plank. Studies show that there's really no advantage to doing that. So I would just go up to a minute, 2 minutes, and then be done with it. And next, the last thing I'm going to show you is the side plank. The side plank is great because it works those obliques, those external obliques. So, beginner version is obviously on your knees. That's always going to be beginner version. You can just hold this for however long you can do it. More advanced is straight. A lot of people find this hard. 10 seconds, 20, whatever you can do. I've even seen people at the gym hold it out like this. This is extremely hard. But when you do it that way, boy, do you feel those side external rotators working. So if you want to work the side of your hips while you're doing a plank, there you go. And then I'm going to show you my favorite, which is called a hip dip. Once again, you come up, you drop the hips down, and then up. But you're not resting, so you're not coming down there and waiting. So you're going to go like this. You're going to drop down, touch it, and then up. Nice and slow. And again, with these, you don't want to be rotating forward. Body's a nice straight line. Down, and then up. Now, I'm not going to show you today, but obviously you want to move to the other side and do both sides. So those are some basic core exercises everyone should be able to do. If you can't do them all, that's okay. Just do what you can do. Next time I see you, I'm going to show you some more advanced moves that require a little more energy. But from the beginning and even for the more advanced, these are moves everybody should try to do and put into their running routine. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.